Many years ago, there was a wealthy man who, with his devoted young son, shared a passion for art collecting. Together they traveled around the world, adding only the finest art treasures to their collection. Priceless works by Picasso, Van Gogh, Monet, and many others adorned the walls of the family estate. The elderly man, who was widowed, looked on with satisfaction as his only child became an experienced art collector. The son's trained eye and sharp business mind caused his father to beam with pride as they dealt with art collectors around the world. As winter approached, war engulfed the nation, and the young man left to serve his country. After only a few weeks, his father received a telegram. It informed him that his beloved son was missing in action. The art collector anxiously waited for more news, fearing he would never see his son again. Within days, his worst fears were confirmed. The young man had died while rushing a fellow soldier to receive medical attention. Distraught and lonely, the old man faced the upcoming Christmas holidays with anguish and sadness. The joy of the season that he and his son had looked forward to so much would visit his home no longer. On Christmas morning, a knock on the door awakened the depressed old man. As he walked to the door, the masterpieces of art on the walls only reminded him that his son was not coming home. As he opened the door, he was greeted by a soldier with a large package in his hand. He introduced himself to the man by saying, "I was a friend of your son. I was the one he was rescuing when he died. May I come in for a few moments? I have something I want to show you." As the two men began to talk, the soldier told of how the man's son had told everyone of his father's love of fine art. And then as the two men began to talk, I've lost my line. "I'm an artist," said the soldier, "and I want to give this to you." And the old man unwrapped the package. As the old man unwrapped the package, the paper gave way to reveal a portrait of the man's son. Though the world would never consider it the work of a genius, the painting featured the young man's face in striking detail. Overcome with emotion, the old man thanked the soldier and promised to hang the picture up above the fireplace. A few hours later, after the soldier had departed, the old man set about his task. True to his word, the painting went up above the fireplace, pushing aside thousands of dollars worth of paintings. Then the old man sat down in his chair and spent Christmas Day gazing at the gift he had been given. During the days and weeks that followed, the man realized that even though his son was no longer with him, the boy's life would live on because of those he had touched. He would soon learn that his son had rescued dozens of wounded soldiers before a bullet stilled his caring heart. As the stories of the son's gallantry continued to reach him, fatherly pride and satisfaction began to ease his grief. The painting of his son soon became his most prized possession, far eclipsing any interest in the pieces for which famous museums around the world clamored. He told his neighbors it was the greatest gift he had ever received. The following spring, the old man became ill and shortly after passed away. The art world was in anticipation. With the art collector's passing and his only son dead, these paintings would be sold at an auction. According to the will of the old man, all of the artworks would be auctioned on Christmas Day, exactly 1 year after he had received his greatest gift of the portrait of his son. Christmas Day arrived, and well-known art collectors from around the world gathered to bid on some of the world's most spectacular paintings. Dreams would be fulfilled on this day. Greatness would be achieved, as many would claim, "I have the greatest collection." The auction began with a painting that was not on any museum's list. It was the painting of the man's son. The auctioneer asked for an opening bid. The room was silent. "Who will open the bidding with $100? he asked. Minutes passed. No one spoke. From the back of the room came the words, "Who cares about that painting? It's just a picture of the man's son. Let's forget it and go on to the good stuff." More voices echoed in agreement. "No, we have to sell this one first," replied the auctioneer. "Now, who will take the son?" Finally, a friend of the old man spoke up. "Will you take $10 for the painting? That's all I have. I knew your son. I knew the son, so I'd like to have the painting." "Will anyone go higher?" called the auctioneer. After a prolonged silence, the auctioneer said, "Going once, going twice, gone." The hammer fell. Cheers filled the room. And then someone exclaimed, "Well, now we can get on with the real business, and we can bid on these great treasures." The auctioneer looked at the audience and announced that the auction was over. Stunned disbelief plunged the room into silence. Someone spoke up and asked, "What do you mean it's over? We didn't come here for a picture of some old guy's son. What about all of these expensive paintings on the walls? There are millions of dollars of art here. I demand that you explain what's going on." The auctioneer replied, "It's very simple. According to the will of the Father, whoever takes the Son gets it all." This story has a timely message for us at this Christmas season. It reminds us of the most famous verse in the Bible, John chapter 3 and verse 16. "For God so loved the world that he gave us his only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but shall have everlasting life." God the Father, in his love, has given his Son, Jesus, as a gift to this world. Jesus gave up his life on a cross to rescue people like us. Sadly, many Australians refuse to take Jesus into their lives at Christmas or any other time of the year. According to the will of God, whoever takes his Son Jesus gets everything. If you refuse to take the Son, you will lose everything. I trust that all of us will accept Jesus, God's Son, at this Christmas time. And if you do, you will get everything you need for this life and for all eternity.